Hello, and welcome to Mindfulness for Beginners. This is day 3, and we're talking about why we do mindfulness, the purpose of mindfulness. And most people do mindfulness because they think it will help with stress or anxiety or depression or just not feeling themselves anymore or feeling a little bit lost. And it's different for everybody, but it's always worth taking a moment to kind of frame for yourself why you want to do mindfulness. And the reason that's a good idea is it helps reinforce the likelihood that you'll do it each day and build that into a practice that you can maintain. And it is by repetition that you get most of the benefits. So don't do it because a colleague's told you to, or a friend has suggested it, or because someone's bought you a subscription for Headspace or something. Do it because you kind of know that it'd be good to get a little bit more help than you're getting, and that this seems like a good way of doing it. In my case, I would sum up, my relationship to my practice is I see it as a small act of kindness towards myself in my day every day, and that's a good thing. For most of us, it will come down in some way to some form of how we take better interest. Whenever I talk to patients, I'm acutely aware that there is the life we live and the life. People have an idea that they're taking a certain level of care of their health. It's not always the reality. In fact, it's rarely the reality. So, for example, you might say to somebody, so do you do exercise? And they'll say, yes, I go to the gym a couple of times a week, and I swim once in a while, and I cycle. And you say, okay, so have you been to the gym this week? No, actually, work was very busy this week, couldn't get. Okay. What about last week? No, last week my back was a bit bad, so I didn't go last week. What about the week before? Oh, no, work was busy again the week before. Well, what about swimming? So you say you swim and go to the gym, and, so do you swim like runs and goes to the gym regularly? But actually, it's not as often as they think. Another good example of that is if you ask people about their diet. And most people, when they talk about their diet, will say that these things that they do, which are good, they eat their 5 portions of fruit and veg a day, or they don't do as much coffee as they used to. And then they will have their sins. They will have the chocolate or the fried food or the takeaway or whatever. And we tend to often view diet in our lives exactly that, as extremes. But actually, healthcare is the bit in the middle. Everything has an impact on our health. So there may be some things you think you'll really do well for your health, and there may be some things you don't do as well with your diet. But actually, everything you eat is part of your diet and will have an impact on it. And part of getting people to deal with diet is to start looking at it as every meal you have will either have a positive impact. It's about making you more of a priority and the care of you more of a priority. And you demonstrate that in 2 ways. You give it your focus and you give it your time. And that doesn't matter what aspect of your life or your health and well-being you want to improve. If you are serious about improving it, you have to give it your focus and you have to give it your time. And when I say focus, I also mean priority. If you don't start each day going, how do I take better care of me today? You probably will take less well care of you than you did yesterday. I think you know what I mean. It's that focus that's incredibly important. And with mindfulness and starting a practice, it's been incredibly well researched. Mindfulness helps in lots of different ways, but it's repetition that makes it help. And for you to do repetition means you have to give your health and your care focus and priority, And if that's why you're doing mindfulness to take better care of yourself, then it's worth your focus and priority. So we're going to do another practice, starting as we do, getting you to sit comfortably. Make sure that you feel settled. And then we move our attention to our feet and allow yourself to become aware of your feet. And as you become more aware of of your feet, allow your eyes to close. And then enhance your attention on any surfaces they touch. And just allow yourself to be fully conscious of your feet. And then draw your attention to your knees and allow yourself to be aware of your knees and how they feel. And just let yourself be conscious of your knees. Then draw your attention to your seat and allow yourself to be aware of your seat and what it feels like to be sitting. And then draw your attention to your low back and notice your low back and notice how that area feels. Then allow your attention to move to your mid-back and notice how your mid-back feels. And then allow your attention to move to your upper back and notice how your upper back feels. And then draw your attention to your shoulders, to the front part of your shoulders and the top of your shoulders and then to the back of your shoulders. And notice how your shoulders feel. And then allow your attention to go to your arms and allow yourself to be aware of your arms. They hang from the side of your body. Notice how your arms are resting, how they sit. Then draw your attention to your hands and allow yourself to be aware of your hands. And then draw your attention to your head and notice your head and how your head feels as it rests on your shoulders. And then allow your awareness to go to your breath and just notice the fact that you're breathing. Don't try and change your breathing. Just recognize your breathing pattern and pick it up and follow it as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Allow yourself to be really aware of the rhythm of your breath, to be able to follow your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And as you breathe in and out, I'd like you, as well as being focused on your breath, just be aware of how much your chest rises and falls with each breath. Just notice that change. Notice that rhythm as your breath rises and falls with each breath as you breathe in and out. Feel your chest change. Feel your chest lift and fall as you inhale and as you exhale. But it's not just the chest that moves as you breathe in and out. As you breathe in and out, just notice how your shoulders, the tops of your shoulders, rise and falls with each breath. So focus on your breath as you breathe in and out, but also just notice how your shoulders rise and fall with each breath. And if you've been distracted by a thought by now, and your focus isn't on your shoulders or your breath, that's fine. This is what happens. Just notice that your attention is elsewhere, and then draw it back to where you want it to be, on your breath. And then pick up your breath as you breathe in and out. And then as you breathe in and out, allow yourself to feel how the top part of your back, how it expands and contracts slightly with each breath as you breathe in and out. Very slightly, but you'll feel this area moving as you breathe in and out. And then as you breathe in and out, I'd like you also to be aware of your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is below the lungs, and it's the bottom part of your inhale. So when you inhale deeply, that's the area you're pushing against, your diaphragm. So as you breathe in and out, just like you to be aware of how your diaphragm moves, the bottom of the chest, as you breathe in and out. And then as you breathe in and out, I'd like you to be aware of the area of your ribs along the sides of your body, underneath where your arms hang. And I'd like you to be aware how the side of your body and these ribs expand and contract with each breath. So still focusing on breath, just allow yourself to be aware how the sides of your body contract and relax with each breath. And then as you breathe in and out, I'd like you to be aware of all these areas at the same time. So how your chest expands forward and your back stretches backwards, how your shoulders rise and your diaphragm extends and contracts, and the sides of your body expand and contract with each breath. So it's almost like imagining the chest cavity is a ball, and as you breathe in, it inflates, and as you breathe out, it deflates. So just get a sense that each breath in and each breath out fills this ball, fills this area. And again, without changing your rhythm, just notice that's what your breath does as you breathe in and out. And as we come towards the end of the practice, allow your attention to come back to your head. And just notice how your head feels as it rests on your shoulders. Allow yourself to be aware of the front part of the head, the side parts and the back. Just allow yourself to be aware of your head. And then allow your attention to move to your shoulders. Allow yourself to focus on your shoulders, the front part, the top part, and the rear of your shoulders. Really notice how your shoulders feel. Feel how settled they feel as you breathe in and out. Then allow your attention to move into your arms and how they rest at the side of your body. Allow yourself just to be aware of your arms, to notice how they rest, to notice how they settle, to notice any sensations in your arms. And then allow your focus and attention to move to your hands. Notice how they're resting, notice how they're settled. Just allow your attention to move into your hands. And then allow your attention to go to your upper back and notice your upper back and how that feels. Then draw your attention to your mid-back and notice how your mid-back feels. And then draw your attention to your low back and notice how your low back feels. And then draw your attention to your seat. Notice how settled your seat feels, how steady you feel to be sitting, how peaceful it is to be sitting, to be still. Then allow your attention to move to your knees. Focus on your knees. And then allow your attention to move to your feet. And just notice how your feet feel, and how steady they feel, and how reliable they feel. And then as we come to the end of the practice, you can open your eyes when you're ready. So the thoughts I'd like to leave you with are, do take the time to write down why I do mindfulness. For me, it's a good thing to do. And notice where, when you think about your own healthcare, what you think you do doesn't always marry up with what you actually do. I hope that was useful, and have a good day. Bye-bye.